Hi friends! I haven't done an update in a while, but I've still been trying lots of new things. I think I've done a new thing every day, sometimes without trying. So right now I'm going to try this blackhead extractor, and this is one of those charcoal masks, but someone on Amazon said it's not the kind that hurts to rip off, but maybe they're a liar and a mean person, so I guess we'll find out. It's important to read the directions. Cleanse your skin and place a hot towel in the areas that have open pores / blackheads for 3 to 5 minutes. To properly use this product, apply an even thin layer on face, avoiding direct contact with eyes, brow, and lips, mainly on the areas with blackheads. Wait for the mask to dry for about 10 to 15 minutes. Peel off the mask and use warm water to clean face. My son just took a shower and used like all the hot water. This is only slightly warm and will have to do. So I remember in the 4th grade when we had sex ed, the video we watched said that when you go through puberty, you might get some acne. But then when puberty is over, your skin clears up. And clearly that is a lie. Seriously, how long was his shower? This thing did not get very warm at all. My husband took the girls out to play, and I finally have a moment to make a video, and there's no hot water. This is just gonna have to do. Take a skin test in hand before cleansing face. If any discomfort, please stop using it. Yeah, it's quite dark and I got more on my hand than I planned. Oh no, I got it in my hair. Uh-oh. I might do some unintentional eyebrow waxing. It's kind of hard using my tablet as a mirror. Should have done the stash first. Gotta get the most important part, which is... Oh no, crap, no! I feel like I might have better control using my finger. Maybe. No. Crap. I need to stop trying to make it look perfect. It's not gonna look perfect. Getting it in my hair some more. Okay. I need to wash my hands. I don't know how I'm gonna get this out of my hair. Okay, so I'll just chat while I wait for it to dry. The craziest thing I've done so far while trying new things was making tamales, which I did on Monday, and that took all day long. And I've just always had this fascination with it. So ever since when I was a kid and I would see packages of corn husks, I didn't really know what they were used for, but I thought it was fascinating that people use like every part of the corn, right? And then finally at some point I tried tamales and I went, oh, that's the thing that uses the corn husks. And I wondered how difficult it is. So there's this taco truck I go to, and they said their grandma makes tamales every single morning. And I was thinking, I want to know what this lady goes through to make these for like the entire town that wants tamales that day. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that it got pretty comical. It started off good. I mean, the meat turned out, and you make a sauce with the chilies. I went to the grocery store and I'm standing in the aisle forever trying to figure out which chilies to buy, because the recipe said use any 3 types of chilies that you like, but I have nothing to base that on because I've never used dry chilies. It is the assembly of the tamale that is more intimidating, and the recipe said to use something called fresh masa, and I had friends on Facebook helping me out saying, oh, this is what it looks like, but what I ended up with was like a bag of dry masa mix. So apparently maybe at like a Hispanic food store they have fresh masa which already has the lard and stuff in it. So if you have masa that is already wet, 5 pounds of that is going to be smaller than a 5-pound bag of the dry stuff. So I had a 5-pound bag of dry stuff, and the recipe said to use 5 pounds of masa. So here I had this huge overflowing bowl of this sort of cornmeal looking stuff, and it says to put in 2 cups of melted lard. So that was the other thing, is I couldn't find the pork lard that I needed, so I found like some kind of hydrogenated lard, which I didn't want to use. So anyway, I used some of the juices from the pork and the hydrogenated lard, and it was not the consistency that I needed at all or anywhere close. Like, you need it to be a spreadable paste. And what was really cool was a friend of mine, she said she had a tamale steamer pot, and I wasn't really aware that that was even a thing. And then another friend said that her mother-in-law's from Mexico, and what you need to do is put a couple pennies on the bottom of the pot, and you'll hear them rattling if you need to add water. And I didn't realize that that was a common problem either, and I had several friends talk about the tamales smoking because they ran out of water. In fact, the pot I borrowed, it has some burn marks on it from the first time my friend used it. So I was glad to have a heads up. I never would have tried this without YouTube and without the help of other people on the internet. So let me share with you some photos, some of the other things I tried. Oh, but I don't have a photo of the rolls I made. Those were kind of disappointing, and I think the directions were wrong. So I've never made homemade rolls. I've made a couple different types of breads before. I also made my mom's bread. And of course, when I decided I wanted to bring my parents dinner, I made bread again. And this time the dough didn't rise very well at all, and I felt like the bread I brought to them was really lame. But I brought them a really nice pot roast, or actually leftovers from our pot roast, but as I discovered, the leftovers taste better. I played 20 questions with my husband, and I won't share the details of that. I'm still going to make chocolate souffle, so I'll show you guys how that turns out when I finally do it. I also transferred some vinyl for a project I was working on, and I'm still not done with it. I'm good at coming up with crafty ideas, but actually implementing them is where I struggle. I mean, you see, I couldn't even get this stuff on my face the right way. So anyway, back to the tamales. I finally took out a portion of the masa, and I kept adding chicken broth until I got the right consistency, and I thought it was going to be a total disaster, but I got it looking sort of like hummus. That's kind of what I was going for. And I spread it on the corn husks, just as the video showed. Put it in the steamer pot, and I was feeling really defeated at that point because you're supposed to add the chili sauce that you make to the masa itself, and I had added it to the huge amount that I had, and so that diluted the sauce, but I also added some of that to the pork. So I walked away for a bit, and I could hear the pennies rattling, and so I added more water, avoiding disaster. And then sometime later, I walked back into the kitchen and realized it smells like tamales in here. I felt so proud. So I have a friend whose husband makes them every year, and she said that maybe he would teach a class for us, and I'm really excited about that. It's not like tamales are my favorite food in the world, but sometimes I really like a challenge, and it's bothering me that I didn't do it quite perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to be able to say that my tamales were a huge success. I'm supposed to drive my son to something in less than an hour, and I'm hoping I can get this off my face because otherwise I'm gonna have to drive him looking like this. Anyway, the past 2 weeks have been kind of a blur because we went straight from a week of snow days to midwinter break. So my kids have been home for over 2 weeks now. And guess what's in the weather forecast for Monday? If we have another snow day, I'm gonna lose it. I feel like it's non-stop dishes in my house right now because there are people constantly home making things and eating. Let's see, another new thing I did was, for some reason, my computer wasn't connected to the internet. And at first I thought our internet was just down, which has been going down repeatedly ever since the snow started. But then I found out it was just the computer. I did some troubleshooting and didn't have to ask anybody for help. So I went into the device manager and managed to figure out that the wireless adapter, is that what it is? I don't know. It had been disabled somehow. No clue how. So I just re-enabled it and I had internet again and I was able to put up my new Steve video the next day. Okay, now to find out if the Amazon reviewer is a liar. I've done different peel masks before, a long time ago. Okay, so far, it's okay. Tolerable. Oh, that's a little painful. I gave birth 5 times with no drugs. I can do this. Okay. I think the last time I did a peel mask, I was a teenager and hadn't started growing hair where I didn't want hair. Ow. Okay, yeah, it's a little painful, but nothing like the videos I've seen where people can't get it off their face. Okay, that's tender. I can do this. I had dry socket for days and I didn't even know it. Eyes are starting to water. If I had a mustache before, I don't now. The nose is the important part. Let's see if this thing even works. I can't tell. I'll have to look in the mirror. yeah, close to the eyes. It's really unpleasant. Ow. I mean, I can do this. Oh. It's all dried in my hair now. Ow. 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 Okay. Okay, don't do that area again. I think if I just put this on my nose from now on, that would be okay. I definitely pulled out some little hairs. Okay, I guess I'll go drive my son now. Okay, well, the Amazon lady's a liar. So I used to do eyebrow tweezing like back in the 90s, but I've never had them waxed. Although when I would go to this place for pedicures, one time I went in and the lady said, "You want eyebrow wax?" And I said, no thanks. And she looked at me like I was crazy, and then she said, "You sure you know what eyebrow wax?" Yeah, I felt a little self-conscious after that. But now eyebrow trends are totally different, and people are making them very bold and like Disney villainous style. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can scrub off the rest with my washcloth. I think I still see some blackheads on my nose. Like maybe I ripped the outer layer of my skin off for nothing. I feel so beautiful. I love how beauty products are all dab this on with your pinky finger because the skin is very delicate. And then on the other end of the spectrum, it's let this harden on your face and then rip it off. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. Also, leave a comment if there's something that you'd like me to try in a video.
Puerto Rico.